Good morning. This is the audio book titled Successful Management Styles of India, written by me. Just entered the second edition. I thought audiobooks are now more popular, and I tried to break the book into smaller topics and then started blog as well as audiobooks. Today's topic is traffic management. Now, why the traffic management has become so popular, or I would say infamous in India? Any new person visiting India from abroad, as soon as he lands, realizes the Indian traffic is unique. Not only from antique bullock carts to modern Mercedes plying on the same road, cyclists, autos, cows, and even pedestrians, for want of footpath space, they compete for their place in the Indian roads. Lack of discipline and control is seen on Indian roads, which is tackled by many police, government, as well as non governmental organizations, NGOs, to get an acceptable solution. But still, it's awaited. Of course, there are exceptions like highways, which are now becoming more and more visible. And going back to the traffic problem, the whole book of mine, Successful Management Styles, is a conversation between me and Gordon, my project director. The next day, Gordon was more relaxed. It was Sunday, and we both were not in a hurry for the work. But breakfast meetings became more interesting. The oil club where we both stayed for for better control of the project, we have nothing much to do on Sunday except a prolonged breakfast. The discussion turned to the traffic management in India. Gordon asked, is it a failure of principles or applications? And I understand where the Gordon comes from. To learn and not to do is really not to learn. To know and not to do is really not to know, said Stephen Covey. I would say after Peter Drucker, Stephen has earned the nickname as father of management. Gordon was curious to know why traffic management is tough in India. He asked if application is the problem or the principles. So I started thinking loud. If application is so simple, all these players, they could have become champions without the help of the coaches. And if all coaches are so successful, they would turn everybody into a champion. So, the principles and application both are very important. Coaches may come out with principles, but application or the practice is the realm of athletes. So it's common to see in India the traffic jams, or I would say that frustration. Not to talk about 20 to 30,000, accidents happening in fatal accidents in India per day. So of course the population is high. That doesn't mean that people are kind to others. And till recently, many are afraid that to report these traffic accidents because police may catch them as the culprits. So, leaving that part, coming to the significance of traffic management and the successful management styles, while we discussed some traditional management styles in the last section, we did not consider changes in the time frame. Population in India has reached 1.2 billion at that time. Now there are about 1.4 billion, and we have now become the most populous country, surpassing China. It's not only the limited financial resources, but also the limited discipline, or I would call it unlimited freedom, is the main problem in Indian traffic. With United States of America built their first highways in as early as 1930, so India has lagged behind, and probably 2030 would reach what US reached about 100 years back. Keeping that part apart, several family members, they take the two-wheeler because economy is one problem. The other one is the failure of the public transport. Now both are being tackled now, but the fact is that traffic problem is not resolved fully. And there is something called bypass and ring roads. Now, how these bypass and ring roads are related to the management, I will tell you. So, to avoid that cities, bypass roads are built, and of course ring roads. And how they're related to the management is the same principle of bypass and ring roads are used by both bosses and staff to communicate the data. In fact, if you ask any employee or staff why he came late to the office, he would come out with different stories. And in fact, a same person, it's not uncommon to find that he will come with each day a story. And this, I would call it a roundabout way of, trying to justify their late coming to the office. Or even if you ask a person why the job is not complete, he would come out with so many excuses. And the best part of it is none of them would agree that he is tardy or he is inefficient or he is incapable of doing the job. He would always blame somebody else. And this points out a very important aspect, that is lack of responsibility and lack of accountability. So the bypass is that he will bypass the main problem and then comes out with different reasons why the job is done. The other one is ring road. Now, even management also is not transparent, and hence they won't really give you the staff as well as the public the main health of the company. For example, if the finances of the company are not in good shape, it is very difficult for people to know that. And by the time they know, probably the owners siphon the money and then close down or bankrupt the company. So similarly, when they're doing very well, also they siphon the money and send it abroad or make black money, and they will the culprits are mostly the investors or the employees. So now recently the SEBI and the stock exchange market has plugged many of the loopholes, and probably that is the one reason why foreign investment is very healthy in India. Apart from that, the relevance of traffic management is the things go slow, but then that leads to the next subject of time management. Because the things get delayed, time management is very difficult, and that we will discuss in the next topic. So, though a word of caution that in my book I have not dealt with the solution to the traffic management, This is only just an example under time management to just say how India and management is different from the others. Okay, so basically what I was saying is what is different in India. That's what the volume one focuses on. So today you learned about that traffic management, and I would call it a traffic mismanagement because you find youngsters not wearing the helmets, and of course many of them are involving in the accidents also, and four-wheelers getting frustrated and cows on the village roads. And the funniest part of it is in villages and in small towns, the roads are used as a public property, and then you don't find funny when you see the cattle on the road as well as the products like grains and cotton, even the vegetables, tobacco, all those things are dried on the roads, and part of the road is used by the people as if it is a private property, because in earlier days the good conditions, what do you call it, houses were less, so some of the villages were even in fact using the roads as their property. Okay, so the same is with the railways, and now of course it is being plugged, and some of these people who using the railway properties as well as uh, using these places as the public places. That is one part of the traffic problem. Uh, Now, before we go to the other problem, time management, let's stop at this point and ponder over unlimited freedom and lack of accountability for the government, state governments and central governments for not providing the transportation, which has really entered into the another bigger problem of shooting of real estates, especially in the city centers, and not developing the rural markets as well as the suburbs. Okay, signing off, Rajsekhar Polapargada, audiobooks, Successful Management Styles of India. Today's focus is on traffic management. Bye. Wait for the time management.